Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are jumping headfirst into a story that kicks off with a totally bizarre bank alert and an even more bizarre phone call. We're going to unpack the Amazon best-selling novella, Aliens Venmoed Me $1 trillion.
Okay, let's just dive right into the middle of the chaos. We're on a remote road in Alaska. It's dark, it's snowing, and a guy named Dawkins is standing over an SUV, holding a shotgun for the first time in 20 years. He's just repeating this line to himself over and over, literally seconds before he pulls the trigger, on an NSA agent who's already dead.
And the second he does it, to cover up this other fatal accident, his phone buzzes. It's a Venmo notification. And the amount is just, look at it. $1 trillion. You can't even process that number.
And the message? It's coming from a video call, and the caller ID says Mama. But nope, that's not his mom. It is a perfect, flawless digital deepfake, and it's being controlled by the very same beings who got him into this whole mess, who are now apparently his new, terrifyingly powerful bosses.
So you have to wonder, how in the world does a self-proclaimed badass pacifist, a guy who streams himself debunking conspiracy theories for a living, end up here? How does a perfectly normal day just completely spiral into a double homicide cover-up that's being orchestrated by aliens? Well, let's back it up. To really get how things escalated so ridiculously fast, we first need to meet the two people who were caught right in the center of all this chaos. So first up, we have Douglas Dawkins. You know, his entire public identity is built on logic. He's the guy on the internet who debunks all the wildest conspiracy theories. You know, lizard people, flat earth, the whole shebang. He's literally the guy who tells his audience aliens are BS. But his reality is about to take a very sharp, very violent turn, forcing him to become the exact thing he's always made fun of.
And this is his partner, Lena Fierro. She is a brilliant but constantly sidelined astronomer. And after years of being ridiculed, she has just made the single greatest discovery in human history. She found proof of alien communication. The only problem? She makes this discovery on the exact same day she gets dragged into covering up the deaths of two federal agents on her own front lawn. Talk about bad timing.
Now, a story this wild that blends dark comedy with a conspiracy thriller and some seriously high-concept sci-fi, it doesn't just come from anywhere. It's the product of an incredibly eclectic mind. The author, Daniel Lawrence Abrams, has been, well, just about everything. A psychology major, an inventor, a stand-up comedian, a TV director for places like Sundance TV and HGTV, and that unique mix is exactly what you feel on the page. You get the psychological tension, the perfect comedic timing, and that relentless, thrilling pace.
So let's see how it all started. Because the first contact isn't some UFO landing in a field. No, it's a hacked FaceTime call. Right after he finishes his anti-conspiracy stream, Doug gets a call from Pops. And it's a flawless deepfake of his dad, who's been dead for years.
So after this entity proves it knows all these intimate details from his childhood that no one could possibly know, it switches to a deepfake of his mother and just gets straight to the point. It drops this bombshell and then gives him a simple but terrifying task. Forward an email with a computer virus to a contact in Belarus. That's it. Simple, right? What could possibly go wrong?
Well, this timeline shows you just how wrong things go and how fast. Doug, trying to be a hero, decides to send the virus to the NSA instead. But this virus, it's way more powerful than he could ever imagine. In minutes, it erases his wife's entire life's work from every single hard drive and cloud server on the planet. Then it burns down the NSA's entire network. And for the grand finale, when the aliens try to prove they're real to a skeptical Lena, they accidentally vaporize the two NSA agents who showed up to investigate.
Whoops.
Okay, so let's just recap. You have two dead federal agents on your lawn, zapped by an alien space laser, your life's work is gone, and you have aliens on FaceTime telling you that if anyone finds these bodies, their existence will be exposed, and that could basically shatter human civilization. So, what do you do?
Well, you come up with a desperate and honestly darkly hilarious plan, all guided by your new alien friends. The plan is to
ditch one body down an abandoned mine shaft and then stage the other to look like a murder-suicide. It's this super meticulous, gruesome process, made even more stressful when Doug's actual mother calls him right in the middle of it all. Can you imagine?
So somehow, they survive the night. The evidence is gone, and now they're not just a couple. They're accomplices in this massive conspiracy. They are partners in crime, bound together by the second biggest secret in human history. And the biggest one, of course, is that aliens are real.
But really, after all of that, do you think their plan actually works? I mean, the local cops are already at the scene of the murder-suicide, the NSA has totally lost contact with its agents, and our two heroes are now permanently tied to this shadowy alien intelligence. It just seems impossible, right?
Just as they're trying to process the absolute trauma of the night, Lena's phone chimes. And there it is. The $1 trillion Venmo payment has arrived. And after losing her life's work, after covering up 2 deaths, she accepts the money without even a second thought. And when Doug asks, just completely stunned, "Did they just send you $1 trillion?" her reply's just perfect. "Hey, we earned it."
And that's where the story leaves us, hanging on a clef of cosmic proportions. So, are Doug and Lena murderers? Are they heroes? Or are they just the solar system's richest, most traumatized couple? To find out if they actually get away with it, and what their new employers have in store for them, well, you're going to have to read the Amazon bestseller for yourself.